Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AzizDrives. Today I'm very happy to present to you a car that I always wanted to present, and it's the Ferrari 599 GTB. But before we start, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, check out the stuff we did in the last couple of weeks. Let's begin. The Ferrari 599 came out in 2006 and was presented to the world as a new Grand Tourer Coupe, replacing the 575M. And still to this day, it's actually one of my favorite Ferraris because it's a very gentleman kind of car that you would not think is anything special. I mean, it has a very big bonnet, it has a very nice shape, right? But it doesn't look as it is too much, right? The shapes, the openings, no spoiler, spoilerless design, typical Pininfarina, but there is actually very much to it. So for example, let's have a look at the front. We have a lot of openings because Ferrari does the aerodynamics underneath the car. So we have this intake here, of course, that is functional for this massive engine, but we also have intakes that are pushing the car more down. So we have openings here to cool the engine, to let warm air get out of the car, but still it is functional because it is channeled here, then goes to the side of this beautiful car, around this A-pillar into the entrance right here. And this is basically what replaces a spoiler. Look at that. You will notice that the same kind of aerodynamics tricks have been used to the F12, which this is basically the predecessor of. Then of course, functional openings here also to cool the brakes and to cool, to channel the air underneath the car. And then you come back to look at this fantastic shape here. I mean, you can really tell they really did a nice trick here, channeling the air and then pushing the car more down. But when you come close and look underneath it, I mean, have a look. Massive diffuser, massive, and I really mean it. The whole air is channeled underneath to push it more down, and this car is actually able to track. I mean, it has been designed for the track, but also for you to enjoy on very nice roads landly. So it is a beautiful car to look at, but it's also a beautiful car to sit in because the interior speaks volumes. Let's check that out. Welcome to the interior. I mean, are there any questions? I mean, just have a look at this and enjoy it for a moment. Just put it into the perspective and the frame. All of those beautiful colors combined together just help you to relax from your day. I mean, a Ferrari is always kind of the finish line, right? I mean, when you made it, when you chase your dreams and you achieve them, you buy a Ferrari. That's how it has been for the last 77 years, and that's how it is today. And I mean, they're building this car for 77 years, the V12. It's a fantastic machine to sit in. Not a lot of things to do. We have only the climate control. We also have the radio hidden behind this carbon fiber lid here, and the car came out in 2007, just so you remember. So we have the radio here, but you can hide it so it doesn't disturb the beauty of the car. Two openings here surrounded with carbon fiber, of course. This is your air vent, right? Left and right side, a little bit of airbags, and then something to remind you that you're sitting in a super car. And it's the Ferrari F1 World Champion badge, 2007, and matricola number, so the number of your car. Very beautiful. In the middle console we have reverse, auto, and the launch control start, which you should never do because the clutch is going to break. It's a single clutch transmission, which will make you poor. Then you have this button here, which is actually kind of oddly placed, and I really don't like it. And you can see it's kind of disintegrating with this soft collar here sticking on my finger. It's actually for the glove box. So you press it just quick, and then the glove box opens. Very nice. Then carbon fiber in the middle console. You have your lock, unlock, your PDC, the park distance control, and then the whole carbon fiber panel. But the most important thing is the smell in here, the leather, the stitchings, the red and the beige combination just perfectly matching together. Carbon fiber surrounding the steering wheel, of course the manettino and the engine start here on the left side. Then a little bit of red here, very nice. The red stitchings, fantastic feel on the steering wheel, fixed pedals to shift up and down, which I personally very much like. I prefer that style of pedal shifters. And then a digital speedometer on the left side showing you all the information of the car. Well, basically there's not much to see, like temperatures and so on, right? Then your big yellow RPM gauge, and then on the right side, the speedometer going from 0 to 360. That's it. You will notice when you come here, you have this beautiful seats. Of course, they have the Daytona style seats with the separation here, which are very comfortable. Then kind of an armrest here, or a grip, a handle to hold yourself tight into the seat passenger when you're driving fast. And then carbon fiber in the back of the seats. Then in the back here, on this little part, which is kind of like an extra trunk space, you will notice they put a Ferrari 599 bag in here. Maybe I can show you that. Look at that. Perfectly matching the seats of the Ferrari. Isn't that beautiful? And then you even have kind of lashes there that you can fix something in. So if you have a special bag that they produced for this car, you can put it here into the back and of course fix it with those, belts basically. A little bit of storage compartment here right behind the driver's seat, and that's it. But it's just a combination of colors, of materials. The big bonnet, you can really see how it goes up and down, helping with the aerodynamics, that makes this car very, very special. So now we're going to talk about the most important thing, and it's the engine. Now when you look at other manufacturers and when you pop the hood, you will always see this very ugly looking plastic that is covering the engine, right? Ferrari does not do that. They actually present to you the mechanical engineering that they do. I mean, look at that. Isn't that incredibly beautiful? Front mid-engined engine, right? Sitting here, going into the cockpit, 12 cylinders, 6-liter in displacement, right? 620 horsepower and over 600 Newton meters of torque, accelerating this beast from 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds and tops out at 330 kph. And the most interesting thing is, it's actually fast even in today's terms. This is very, very good. And it's not that heavy, 1,600 kilograms with the fluids in. So that's very good. And also, but it's a very expensive thing, but helps with performance, are the ceramic brakes. 398 millimeters in the front and then 360 millimeters in the back. But this is really, really expensive, to be honest. I mean, you're looking at 20 to 30K just to replace the brakes. And that's the reason why you have to be able to afford those things when you drive a Ferrari. It doesn't matter which car you buy, even if it's 20 years old, it's still going to be expensive. I think we should take it for a drive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AzizDrives. I have to admit, I could not wait to film another review because we haven't done one in a long time. It's actually very interesting. I was traveling to Dubai doing all of that, and you know, just going on the racetrack with Misha, Sharudin. By the way, check out the videos in the description below. But this is kind of the source of all of this, right? This is where it started, and it's with the reviews. And today, I'm very happy to drive one of my absolute dream cars that I will 100% own in my lifetime, 100%. And it's yet another single clutch car, which is kind of odd because I only own single clutch cars that I really love. The Aston Martin Vantage, the M6, the BMW, and now this Ferrari 599 that we are talking about today. The Ferrari 599 is kind of a little bit forgotten in history because it is not the most incredible looking Ferrari, right? It kind of goes a little bit more gentlemanish, you know. It's not noticed by a lot of people and actually not driven by a lot of people because they don't know what this is actually about. But still, it is one of the best Ferraris, and the reason for it is basically just this. It has one of the most incredible engines that was the most powerful V12 back in the day. The V12 6-liter from the 599 has 620 horsepower and around 600 Newton meters of torque. And this was an absolute brilliant engine, really. A competitor to a bunch of cars. I mean, this car was actually the reference car of a Porsche 911 GT2 RS, basically. It had the acceleration times are also fast up until this day. I mean, this car is from 2007, right? It was first presented in 2006. An absolute beautiful piece of art. And it would accelerate from 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. It would top out at 330 kph, which is still to this day absolutely incredible. Let me just let that car overtake because kind of stresses me on. Okay, let's continue because I just want to show you this beautiful drive before I get into the AzizDrives mode, right? It's one of the most comfortable cars I've ever sat in, and it's actually one of the fastest too. Still to this day, acceleration times are incredible, 11.2 seconds from 0 to 200. Single clutch means it's a little harsh, you would think so basically, but it's not. It's actually very nice to sit in and drive. So what I'm going to do is, since the car is old and it's up for sale at Röhrl Auto, and also I don't want to break anything, I'm going to put it into manual mode and Manetino to race, not to CST off, just to race to find out how this sounds. Okay, so let's accelerate gently, clutch engage, and now. Oh my God, how can you argue about that? Incredible, incredible sound, fantastic symphony of this V12, and I'm so happy that Ferrari still builds that V12. I mean, you know how this all started? Back in the 40s actually, right after the war, Ferrari Enzo decided to put a V12 in cars. Before that it was used in airplanes, it was used in racing boats and so on, but he noticed that the incredible stability of two 6-cylinder engines combined into one is very good for cars. And it was very soon that he put it actually in the first Formula 1 car of Ferrari, 1956 I guess it was, and he actually placed third in the first race. And then he started to do that and continue the whole thing up until it was this car that we have today. And they have always created the most fascinating and the most incredible sounding V12 engine. And the balance is absolutely fabulous. I mean, this car just rolls very beautifully here. And it also has a Sachs suspension. So a Porsche and this car share the same suspension, which is interesting. And it's a car that really is underground. I mean, there's another story that I could talk about, and it's the story of how two legends clashed on the Nürburgring with this car. And it was none else than Walter Röhrl that had one of these as a reference car on the Nürburgring, because they were testing the GT2 RS. And as he was driving through Fuchsröhre, he noticed a car in front driving very fast. As he was approaching and driving and driving and driving, he came a little bit closer and noticed the other car is also a 599, just in a different color, which was also driving incredibly fast. So both very skilled. And somewhere at Töttingerhöhe, he started to kind of overtake the other Ferrari because he did a slight mistake. He overtook him, rolled the car off, let the car cool off, and it was who that drove the other car? It was Michael Schuhmacher. So the clash of two giants, of two incredible people in racing history, was done in a Ferrari 599. That is incredible. Let's put it into race. I mean, this engine, the vibrations are so beautiful. You know, when you're driving a lot of cars, you can really tell when something is a masterpiece. And I can tell you, this car will go up in value sooner or later because it's just something that they do not build this way anymore. It's not scary fast, but it's brilliantly fast. It is the perfect amount of everything. It has a fantastic weight distribution, 53% in the front, 47% in the back. It's that typical Pininfarina, no spoiler look, right? Fantastically designed to be a car that you can drive on the racetrack, but also enjoy on beautiful roads like this. So I shall do that with shifting into second gear, opening the window, and just listening to that. And the shifts happen so fast. Single clutch transmission. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. One of my dreams coming true one more time. This is incredibly beautiful. It really is. So now we're coming to one of my favorite bits because the road is very bumpy. We will test the suspension. Still to this day, the turn-in, so beautiful. I just love front-engined cars. I really do. I think they have an incredible, incredible drive. So smooth, silk smooth. And the shifts are very good for a single clutch transmission. I'm actually very surprised of how this car shifts. Second gear. Oh, symphony. Turn in. Wow. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Oh, the power is so nice, revving up to 8,500 RPMs. You know the grand power of this engine. You know that Ferrari always builds this V12 absolutely incredible. This car shares the engine with the Ferrari Enzo. It's the Ferrari Enzo engine. So it's not just like any engine, it's the latest generation, it's the later generation of that fantastic evergreen engine that they have produced for like 40 years. And this car, the engine has been built for 77 years. Imagine, this is so incredible to hear. Building an engine, perfecting it for 77 years. Let's just stop one more time. I have to experience that. CST off. You know that? I have to do it, right? Let the clutch engage it. Floor it! My God, it handles those bumps so good. It handles very well, actually. But it's just so fast on the straight that you can't even focus on the cornering performance. My goodness. Ah! This is so beautiful. It has the perfect amount of everything. It goes over those bumps beautifully. I mean, comparing it to the Aston Martin DBS it's really no comparison. This is much, much better somehow, in my opinion. What a wonderful piece to drive. Look at that turn-in. A little bit heavy on the front. Okay, I get that. But still, it really goes very beautiful around corners. And I mean, this is an old tire technology. It's not really a new tire. I mean, when you put a Michelin Pilot Sport Cup on or something like that, this would be incredible. The balance is so nice. Then how you can play with the Manettino is also fantastic. I really do like this. I really do like it. And I always knew this is a fantastic car to drive, but I never had the chance, right? I drove it like one time before. This is really a beautiful piece of art. The only problem is, of course, this clutch, okay? If it breaks, I mean, you can pay like 12K to replace it, but it doesn't feel to me like it really is difficult to kind of, yeah, to drive for long roads, for example, or that it will kind of let you off or brake or something like that. It does feel very stable to me, to be honest. I really, really like this. I really like this car. You just have to, of course, let the clutch engage and don't, you know, I'm used to driving single clutch. So to me, this is very good. The M6 is much worse, much worse. Very beautiful car, very nice. Wow. Fantastic to experience, and the people absolutely love it. So now, turn in here, perfectly balanced, a little kick, and very nice oversteer. And then maybe another acceleration. Clutch, very good engagement, back into the next gear. This is very beautiful. And you can actually drive this more competitive, to be honest. You could really do that. Now, second gear, accelerate, carbon ceramic brakes, they need a little bit of heat. Turn in here, very nice, very sharp, and accelerate out. Very beautiful. One of my absolute dream cars, man. What a majestic thing it is. It's really not in your face, it's just the perfect amount of everything. I really do like it, and it's not too loud, right? Could say an Aston Martin is maybe a little too loud, but this is really not a show-off car. This is a perfect car for somebody that knows what he wants in life. I really do like it. It's fantastic. The only, yeah, I mean, the bad thing is just the fuel economy, right? Looking at somewhere around, 30 liters. And no, I've driven the F12, but this is a much more gentlemanish car. The F12 is more like a lunatic. This is just perfect. And that's everything about the 599, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. God bless you and see you on the next one. Goodbye.